The program I chose to investigate is called Argumentative, and it was downloaded from sourceforge.net. On this website, the program is clearly outlined in its purpose and gives a few visual images of the layout of the actual program. To download the program, simply click the link under the main heading under Download, and it'll direct you to a page where step-by-step instructions and information is given. So you simply click here to download the new program. Also on this page, on the left-hand side are various headings which will help to answer any questions a new user may have. Under the Home tab, there's also a quick video on how to use a program before actual use for the user to assess if the program would be suitable for classroom use. Also located on this tab is new features that old and new users can check on to look at new updates. The download time is very quick as it is a simple but efficient program. To locate the program on your laptop, simply click your home button, and under Downloads, it will come up as a logo with two redheads glaring at each other. Simply right-click, scroll down to Create Shortcut to create shortcut on your laptop. The purpose of Argumentative is for students to be able to form full sentences in any argument and to provide evidence or counter-evidence to support a thesis statement. Students tend to blurt out what is usually on their minds and believe what they're saying is true without sufficient evidence to back it up. This program will help students to mind map the pros and cons of any argument, which will benefit them when they write entrance essays to college or university, and even help them to write a persuasive cover letter to find a job. The program can also help students to form better decisions, to make their positions clearer and more articulate, or to assist in forming a position on an issue if the position is unclear or undecided, like in a debate. Argumentative uses a simple flowchart to help students visualize their arguments and their evidence in a cohesive order. Each bubble or section is color-coded so students can see how their arguments flow from start to finish. The color-coded bubbles or letters provide clear graphical views of the logical and reasoning behind each argument. If students have too little on one side and too much on another, they can see that their argument is lacking in some respects and can therefore edit it as necessary. Students can also adjust the graphics of the flowchart by selecting the Tools option from the above menu. And under Options, they have the choice of ordering their flowchart to suit them better. So if they want their argument to come last, go from left to right or right to left, they can switch the boxes around under this section. So simply click Tools, Options, Graphical Content, and under the section Orientation, top down means your argument will be at the top, bottom up means your argument will be at the bottom, and then left to right, right to left. So for example, bottom up changes the argument to be at the bottom. Students can also change the way their lines form in the text box themselves. So if they don't want the straight line, or if they want a straight line instead of dog leg, they can change it to that, or go to curve, or distributed, like so. The flow of the mind map display can be changed at any point during the editing process. To build upon the basic argumentative layout, if there are more reasons or objections or helpers, like examples, to add other boxes or other steps in their arguments, students will highlight one of those they need to add in the left-hand menu, for example, H for helper. Then under Edit, they will select Add and append one of the three options provided at the end of that line of logic. So if they need to provide another reason, a new reason will be added to that helper. Students can also use the shortcut keys at the tops of the page to add the same items. For example, R is for reason, objection, and helper. When the whole argument begins to grow, students will notice on the left-hand side of the page a logic tree grow as well. P will stand for their main premise, their thesis. R is the reasons for or against that premise. O would stand for objection, and H is a helper or example. which supports the reason. Each letter is color-coded, which corresponds to the colored boxes in the mind map display. And beside each letter are the sentences or logic the students use for each letter. So for example, P, main premise. For example, I will use cats are better than dogs. And it will show up in the mind map tree. This provides another visual for students to see their essay or argument grow from the premise to the conclusion and everything in between, and for them to assess the flow of their arguments. The instructions on how to navigate through this program are easy to understand, which will enable students who have trouble writing good arguments to practice and challenge themselves to form good arguments, which will later benefit them on test essays or in debates. A bonus for this program is that, unlike simple mind map displays or word webs that use a few words as possible to support a premise and are usually done on the spot collaboratively with other students, for example, a simple brainstorming exercise before the actual writing process, an argument map forces the students to use complete thoughts and sentences and to conduct research to support their arguments. Mind mapping will help students to outline the argument and most likely related concepts, but this program guides the student to think about the details of their arguments and forces them to look at the whole argument instead of one side. It also ensures students will find sufficient evidence to support all reasons provided. Once an argument is complete, students can print their overall argument for editing, debate, submission, or studying purposes. Students also have the option of converting the mind map display to an MS Word document or a PowerPoint show, which can enable them to send to a friend or teacher for editing purposes or constructive feedback, and they can go back to correct or add as necessary. So to print, the student will quickly hit File and Print, or simply click the little printer logo. And if they want to convert it to an MS Word document, they simply click File, Export, MS Word, or MS PowerPoint. This program can be incorporated into the school curriculum for literature. For example, students can use it to write essays, assess the pros and cons of characters and their decisions in novels, to lay out the progression of a story from start to finish, so it is not necessarily limited to a pros and cons outline. For science and philosophy, students can use it to debate theories that have yet to be proven. The program is very basic as far as educational software goes, and it is limited in its technological quality with limited to no media that can be added or viewed in the program itself. The program could become more high quality if media is added or links to videos or other websites can be hyperlinked inside the display, which will bring a wider user interface to this program and will be more interesting and interactive for students. The overall idea behind this program is great, and the visual layout is straightforward and interactive for all users, and it will get students to focus on constructing proper arguments and ideas. In the classroom, this would be great for work periods, for students who work in groups for debates or essay editing, novel reviews or reviews of major theories, and most likely more. The program itself is only limited by a teacher's imagination.